Right, good morning, everybody. We are live on air, Uncle John. Good morning, Uncle John.
Good morning to you, Nico.
And good morning, Mac. And Paul is not here yet, but good morning to you too.
Good morning, Nico.
All right, so Paul's probably busy setting up on the other side. He said he's on gate 1, so there's Uncle John.
Morning.
Good morning, Sentinel. Hey, nice of you to join us here on Voice. All right, well, guys, I had nothing much to do today, so in the morning except just chat with the guys here. So I started setting up. I'm ready to go, Uncle John. Are you ready to go?
Number 2 started.
Oh, before start procedure.
Before start procedure. Before start procedure completed.
Start number 2 engine.
Starting number 2 engine.
Oh, my dog just jumped on me and she's all wet.
25 and 2.
Gaan.
Starter cutout.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine. Twenty-five and 2.
Snowy. Sorry, guys.
Starter cutout. Engine start procedure completed. Flaps 5 set.
I made it. I made it. Now the question is, in my mind, that's Charlie in front of us. It looks like we can taxi at night this way as well. Some of these taxiways, and it looks like there's an old runway involved and stuff, are closed. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see.
I think I'm going to follow you down, Nico.
That's fine, sir. I changed my time of day to have a look during daytime, and it looks very plausible that we can taxi down here, but for 1 second there I was worried about not having the lights on the ground to guide us. Because I mean, if you look at the diagram there, it actually shows that that piece is gone. So I can't change the time of day now. So if I look like an idiot right now because I'm not doing it right, it's gonna not be nice. So I'm gonna take a left here, just follow the actual diagram, then hope for the rest, because it does look as if the green lights end there. So Uncle John,
Yeah, I'm looking for you.
alright, I'm on the southern corner of the apron almost now. Can't
Yeah, I
miss
see
me.
you.
Actual fact. I'm trying to suss out where to go to because this is kind of a dangerous situation, and I think I need to go somewhere here, and then there are no lights. No lights. Don't come too close, Uncle John. If I make a mistake that you can escape from behind. Okay, so far so good. Looks like there's a taxiway. Yeah, I think we've got it. We've got it. You can follow now.
Guys, I'm setting up the flight and I'm coming after you, but I have an issue with the dome light. I think it's doing nothing.
Yeah, put your HDR on in your explain settings. Go to explain display settings and make sure your top slider on the left says HDR is on. Uncle John,
Yes, sir.
this taxiway works. You must just do it slowly because there's no lights.
Yeah, I've noticed.
I've put on all my landing lights, runway turn off lights, taxi lights, everything just to see this little bit.
I'm just hoping that little right turn taking you to the runway's open as well.
It appears to be yes.
Good morning, gents.
Hello, hello, hello.
You're so quick, you're off already.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, I'm just loading up my explain.
You're welcome. We arrived here about half an hour ago. All of us half through the sleep and everything. And then as we started chatting, I just started setting up. I'm flying a new version of the Zibo, by the way. This is 11A. Zibo fixed the off time issue that occurred yesterday after the flight reload. So he says it's all working, and we're going to use the new times then today, so we'll see.
Oh, I forgot again to update my X-Plane. I'm not gonna bother. I'll do it later.
Yeah. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure completed.
Nico, did you use ILS with the transition or straight in?
And no transition. If you put the transition, it makes a weird squiggly line. You don't want that. It's straight in.
Straight in. All right, thanks.
Approaching 3-6. On runway 36.
Tell me when you're
Stabilized.
Toga.
here.
Takeoff thrust set.
What do you want? 3 minutes?
Yes, please.
80 knots. Throttle hold. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Come on, eh?
Runway turn off, lights off.
Are you using same cost index 40?
Yes.
Thank you.
Approaching transition. Flaps upset. Transition altitude.
Fernandez Jr. Question number one, I'm not even going to allow on the stream. That's pirating. Not talking about that. And question number two, it's the whole layout. A2 is the newer one. This is A2. If you actually look, you'll see immediately there's a difference in the layout and the way that the buttons are set. So that's the difference. It depends on what I need to do. If I'm doing testing, I jump between them. Currently, I'm using A2. Only use A2 now because it's the newer one. It's kind of freaky because when I go to WebFMC that I use is still the old model. And then you press A button and get a different result. So I've come to just make peace with that side of things.
Which routine did you use, Nico?
The one in the VA, sir.
Yeah, sounds right. Okay.
Sunrise is busy, slowly happening.
I'm not sure what I've done different because I'm turning right shortly.
It's just the difference in the SID, Uncle John. You took a different SID, just a different departure.
Okay.
I'm turning right as we speak now, but you took a shortcut there. I think it comes with seniority, you know.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Takeoff was great. We'll see your landing.
Mac,
Yeah.
there's a news article I just posted in the news channel here in Discord about one of our ex-South African Air Force Impala jets crashing in the US yesterday.
Oh.
It belongs to the National Test Pilot School in Nevada.
Ah, right. Yeah.
the good eye of it seems.
And where was it? You posted it?
News channel. _in news.
How nice is it to see that dawn coming up?
Yeah. Lovely.
Well, you sold them in the early 90s, that
Mm.
school,
Mm-hmm.
of which 5 are still active.
Yeah.
And it's the first one to crack.
Yep.
What cost center have you used, Nico?
40.
Thank you.
It's a long flight, Uncle John.
I know, but I religiously stick to our own VA.
Yeah, I know, but that's a long flight, sir. I mean, currently my ETA here is at 12:14 my time, you know, and I need to get out of here and get mother-in-law dropped off at sister-in-law. Otherwise, I can't do tonight's flight, so I'm pushing it a bit.
What you've also got to remember, John, is the boss says, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting there, Mac.
It's like his other favourite phrase is, read the manual or the installation instruction.
Excuse me, it's a bit early for that.
There's no need for pushback, is there?
No, not for me, there wasn't.
We look as if we're going to converge, Nico.
Ugh, Uncle John. I think we can manage that.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Me too. It's when the TCAS starts shouting dive, dive, or climb, climb. That's when I'll worry.
1000 to
Like,
level up.
like when we were on the full flight sim.
1,000 to go.
Coffee refresh time.
Yeah, I need more too.
I've got you out of my left-hand window.
I've got you too. Hello, Uncle John.
How are you, sir?
Awesome.
Beautiful up here this morning.
Oh, yes.
The TCAS kick in at this distance?
No. You can see he's on TCAS, but he's not a danger to us. There he is. He's definitely there. We can keep an eye on him, but he's not a danger. He's on the border of the ring. Once he gets in that ring there, it will start screaming and shouting at us. Are you on your way to BAVAS, Uncle John?
Affirmative, sir. 11 miles.
Alright.
The next one then is 422 November.
I'm taking off too.
Excellent.
What's the next one after BAVAS?
After BAVAS, it's 45 November 020 West.
Okay, we're on different ones then, because I'm on 422 November
Okay.
on a 30-degree heading.
You just want to brag.
Excuse me.
Show off. There you go. Now he's come into...
Maintain vertical speed.
Wow, we're getting close now, buddy.
Oh, Uncle John. I've got Snowy on my lap here. I'm kind of relying on you to press the button to eject or something now.
Negative. I'm slightly in front of you, so I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be an issue.
Climb.
No, you should be fine.
Maintain vertical speed. Climb. Climb.
What I might have to do is speed a little bit because of the
Woo!
separation.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Maintain vertical speed.
I'm going to slow down slightly quickly. Uncle Jon, this is epic.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I've slowed down considerably, okay? So you please just don't slow down, just keep your speed.
No, I'm continuing.
Yeah, I can see you pulling away from me now.
Formation flying.
Sorry?
Flying in formation. Blue wings.
Yes.
My hearts, look at that.
Climb. Climb.
Paul's on his way.
Yeah. I feel a minor shortcut coming on.
What is your Mach speed, Uncle John?
Mach 0.79, sir.
79, okay.
what's your ground speed at the moment, John?
$419.
How does that compare with yours, Nico?
411.
What is the difference between 250 on 7,000 feet and 250 on 35,000 feet on the speed?
Oh, there's a lot of difference.
Because of the drag?
Yeah, the whole
density.
yeah, density thing is different, completely different.
Currently, there's 3 minutes difference between us, Nico.
Clear of conflict.
Uncle John, there can't be 3 minutes
I'm
difference
terribly
between
hungry.
us because
Let's order
you're
a
literally
pizza.
still visible.
Traffic,
3 minutes
traffic.
is more than 10 miles and you are right on my nose.
Well, I'm taking that out of the IVAO website.
Oh yeah, no, but remember that's not real time. I appreciate that, but it's not real time. I reckon there's about 30 seconds, maybe 25 seconds difference between us right now.
Okay, plenty of time. 2 pros is no problem.
Yeah, no, by the time you roll off the runway at the end, I'm touching down.
Clear of conflict. Traffic, traffic. Clear of conflict.
Well, you've turned from red to yellow to white now, so you're okay.
My ETA is 1006.
Mine is 1017.
Yeah, but have you not speeded back up?
I'm doing Mach 765.
Okay. I mean, have you returned back to what you were doing originally?
No.
Yeah, well, you might as well go back to original.
It's a nice morning up here, isn't it?
Very nice, very nice.
Lovely view of that island to my left.
Beautiful pub.
It was Sentinel talking about airspeed, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you there, Sentinel?
Hi there.
As far as I understand it, the indicated airspeed is measured by basically putting a tube outside the window and letting the air blow down it. So, at low altitude where the air is denser, you've actually got more air molecules being pushed down the tube by the forward speed of the plane. So let's say you get 250 knots at sea level. If you're going through the air or over the ground at the same speed at high altitude, there are fewer air molecules being pushed down that tube, so the indicated airspeed reads lower. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, does that explain why 250 knots is different at different altitudes?
So, thank you.
And there was me, Paul, thinking it was all to do with global warming. The closer you are to the ground, the greater the effect of global warming.
It's chemtrails. It's gone to your mind, to your head.
The closer to the sun you get, the more chance the wax melts.
Yes.
And your feathers fall off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm ringing. Be back now. Alright, well, I've got a delivery that I need to go fetch downstairs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm then going to quickly make some coffee as well. I will be back. I'm leaving your voices running, gents.
Okay.
No problem.
And there's Nico, just behind me.
Good morning, everybody.
Good.
Sounds like Mickey.
Good morning.
Yeah, if it's okay, I know Nico's on the stream, but I just would like a bit of information if possible.
Go ahead.
Yeah, according to me FMC, I've got a VDM approach at my next airport. What exactly is a VDM?
It's a VOR DME.
Oh, it's a VOR DME, is it then? Ah, right, I'll have a look into that then. That might solve what I'm looking at. All right, if I need any more info, I'll get back to you. Cheers, Paul.
Okay. I must say there's a lot of planes around on the WebEye for this time of day. I'm not usually looking at the traffic this time of day.
I keep looking at Nico, up behind me.
Yeah, there is quite plenty.
Yeah.
Especially Europe is quite busy.
What a lovely view from the window. Our Earth is beautiful.
It really is.
I am back. Good morning, Christoph.
Check your messenger, Nico. Sent you a very interesting photograph.
Ooh la la.
Mon chapeau.
Very nice, Uncle John.
You like that?
Yes, sir.
Guys, do not forget your magic button, the save.
Thank you.
Well reminded.
Yeah, I think we're thinking the same, Maple. Okay.
I mean, I don't get many crashes. In fact, I think I've only ever had one.
You shouldn't say things like that, Paul. You know, you're tempting Providence.
Yeah, well, I don't believe in Providence.
Awesome. So, anyway, for the 8 people on YouTube and for the guys sitting here, just a quick note. I did speak to Zibo last night about an autosave function, and he said he's looking into it for us, so we'll probably get it soon. I hope. That'll be a nice spin on the save function story. I've requested him to give us the option, the ability to switch it on and off, 5 minutes, 10 minutes and 15-minute intervals. And the reason for that is the guys can then decide for themselves how frequently they need it to happen, because obviously it might take away 0.001 fraction of a second of your CPU power to quickly just save the file. So we don't want to make it every second, you know, because then you won't be able to fly nicely. So the options are on the table now.
I'm assuming that it'll save and the next save will overwrite the last save.
Yeah. There will only be one save file. The current save module will remain, so you'll still have your 8 manual saves. Okay, but you'll add auto save, it seems. So cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
I think this was brought up initially by Mac, wasn't it?
No, sir. This has been ongoing for months and months and months. People have been asking for autosave. It was just after yesterday and everything that happened to me that I asked him very nicely, can you please put it in?
I tell you what, that was a stroke of luck for you.
I suppose. Sorry, Mac, you're going to have to speak up.
I said it was first brought up when they first put the 4 saves in, and then when he extended it to the second page, I think we mentioned it again. But it just happened to be, I think Zibo was in the room yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah. So he experienced everything with us, and I understand.
And a reason as to why it would, you know, be beneficial.
Yeah, beneficial to us.
Will it be possible? Oh,
so go. No, you go, because I want to talk about you afterwards.
Will it be possible to have saves for, let's say, without interfering your, like, let's say, El Porto training circuits?
No, the current training, or the current save function remains. So you will have the 8 different manual save functions remaining. That's not going to change. All he's doing is he's adding an autosave. You understand? It's not related. For training purposes, we still need the 8 manual saves. We can't get rid of that.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah. Anyway, what did I want to say about your story now? Something about you now. Damn it. Did you think? Oh, remember before we started the flight yesterday, you said, or you asked, what would happen if you crash out, or there was some story you had about, you know, it not working, and then I said, well, then you just basically restart your X-plane and just get going. We were talking about the IVAO tour, if they will accept it, remember? And truth Bob, there it happened with me. I mean, that was so unplanned, and it was so funny that we spoke about it just before the flight.
I didn't get much sleep today.
You know, so obviously, they then did accept my flight with my little explanation given. Otherwise I couldn't have done this flight this morning. You see, how coincidental is that?
Oh, lovely. So for the future, it's good, is it?
Now, I just want to ask you something, but it's just between you and me. when we start the next flight, talk about me winning the lotto or something.
We should actually. I'll bring all the luck to you.
Yeah,
but,
you see.
well, the deal is, yeah, we need to split the half. Yeah, I'll get the half. Yeah.
I'll pay you in Zim dollars, then you get trillions.
No problem.
Yeah, what will be the chance of that happening? I mean, look, yesterday there was no chance of us losing power or anything, and the next moment, it just went. Amazing how things work.
Now that's a first for me. I lost my number 2 engine. I don't know why.
The only way you can lose your engine is if you forgot to switch the explain failures off. So go click on start flight, flight at the top, go to menu, flight, go to flight configuration. In flight configuration, choose customize on your aircraft. At the bottom left, go to failures, fix all the failures, and make sure the tick box isn't set. Get rid of it. You'll probably have to restart your engine, but the fact of the matter is that failure shouldn't be on.
I've wound her up to 0.8 Mach, Nico, because we've got an identical arrival time.
Okay. Yeah, you're about 4.5 nautical miles in front of me.
Well, I've just moved her up to Mach 8 anyway.
That's fine.
Paul?
Yes.
If you've got any interest in cricket, don't look at the score.
Alright, Wilco. Every time I show interest in the cricket, it goes badly. It seems.
It's already gone bad.
Well.
Who was that comedian that used to say, "Chase me"?
Don't know. Have I gone mad, or is it the same ILS frequency as I had on the flight before last?
1095.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Happens more than you'd think.
There are just so many frequencies, available anyway.
Yeah.
John, is it Duncan Novelli?
don't think he heard you.
What was that?
I said, Uncle John, is it Duncan Novelli?
Duncan Novelli.
I've just googled the
yeah, the comedian.
comedian.
No, I
Yeah?
don't think, no, there was a comedian who used to say, "Chase me," and I was
That's
just
who
watching.
it is. That's
coming up
who it
behind
is.
me, and I was just
That's who
thinking
it is.
about Nico chasing me.
That's who it is. Duncan Novelli. That was his phrase.
Was it? Oh, okay.
It wasn't Larry Grayson, was it, John?
Do you know, you saying that, I think it was.
Does that mean I win the prize?
Yeah, you can have a free copy of the Zibo.
That's a good.
I can appreciate that.
Christoph, the IVAO training video on my channel shows all of those things. So you need to look at my YouTube channel for the IVAO training video. I did show it yesterday, I think. In yesterday's stream, just go back quickly and look at yesterday's stream there in the beginning. I'm pretty sure I showed it yesterday. And then what I can do is we can do the approach one in today's video. Okay, yeah, sure, we can do that. In the week, I had some silly idiot come and make some really bad comments on that very video, that IVAO training video. Really nasty piece of work. I answered him once or twice and then I just deleted the bloody comment because I can't be dealing with idiots like that. I mean, there's no reason for anybody, any adult person, to be such a piece of crap. You know, I mean, it's just move on, man. Just get on with your life. But he didn't like that video. Right, cool, Christoph. Talk later. Yeah, by us in South Africa, it's actually a very pleasant morning.
Current temperature 1 degree. Highest today 6.
Yo.
I'll see if I can find me sandals and shorts. Do some Northern English sunbathing.
Don't forget the knotted handkerchief.
Absolutely. It's looking fairly pleasant outside, actually. Things are starting to green up a bit.
Nice. We're at 21 going to 27 apparently. Paul, you need to come visit 1 year in our summer. You need to experience
too
this
hot, man.
African sun.
No. I did once visit the very northern edge of the Sahara in Morocco, and that was maybe June. So not the full heat of summer. And I could not believe how hot it was. It was outrageous. Doesn't agree with me at all. I know John gets on with it quite well, but no.
I love temperature. The only thing I don't like, Paul, is humidity. If it's humid, I hate it.
Yeah. The ideal, of course, would be to do what Max Ospreys get up to. Migrate with the decent weather. That would be lovely.
Yeah, well, I'm doing that in December nowadays.
Yeah.
The only problem in December down in South Africa, we do have quite a bit of rain.
Yeah, at one point in time, it was bad.
Well, we had our fair share of it, Nico.
What have you done since Christmas that you deserve to be punished like this again next Christmas? Nico?
I don't know.
I noticed that Mac the Style Guru and Feng Shui Master's been contributing again to VA development. It's very good.
We had another session last night. I pointed out a couple of errors that there were in it, but he ended up breaking it again. When I went to bed, it was all broken again.
Oh dear.
But it's working again this morning, so fair dues.
I believe we need to put together a wish list for the developer at some stage. Is that right, Nico?
Yeah, I think all of us and Mako need to get together again and then actually make notes about things for the future and those goals, you know, the goals we want to work to. Because one of the problems when I spoke to him about the goals and chasing the goals, and this is one of the reasons the test site also broke, is it doesn't help Mako develops our sub site when the main code doesn't work together with it, because then you get incompatibilities and it crashes out. You know, very simple to understand. You know, it needs to spawn off the main system, and if we do too much customization like what's happened now, it literally crashes at the next update that Nabil does on the main system, because the two systems aren't compatible anymore. So for that reason, I think we all need to just get together, you know, early next week again. And then I know, and I've seen him talk to Nabil and the other guy there that contributes as well about our site. But it would be nice to have a little list that he can take to Nabil and say, okay, well, this is the long-term plan we have, you know, and then Nabil can get the main system compatible with our dream.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense to ask your mom to buy you shoes and she brings back 2 sizes too small, you know. It's not compatible, the two systems, they won't work together.
And it wastes people's time.
Exactly. Yeah, and cause frustration, all those other emotions then.
Directly behind me there.
Looks like it. Yeah, there you are. Mac, I have a question for you, a very technical one.
This early in the morning?
Yeah. You don't have to answer now, you can think about it, but it's also kind of a joke, but I'd love to hear your opinion about it.
Go on then.
Why the hell did they put the red navigation light on the left wing? In my logic, red and right rhymes better than left and right or left and red. What's the story? Why the hell did they put the red light on the left wing? Because that question of yesterday got me thinking about that
Remember, it's
again.
got nothing to do with aviation.
Yeah, it comes from the ships.
Or rhyming.
Yeah, but still, I mean, surely somebody could have said, hey guys, you know what, I have a good plan. Let's put the red light on the right wing.
Oh yeah, red on the. Oh yeah, right. Red on the right. Yeah.
Yeah. John Humferson does clearly not know who I am.
What?
This guy on Facebook. There's a guy complaining about entering fuel into the Zibo. He says here, so I have a question about fuel. I entered the required amount, but the amount of actual fuel did not appear. Why? My question then was, where did you enter the fuel value? So this third person comes around, Nico, in the tablet. If you have fuel already, it will top it up. If you have too much, it will remove it.
Oh, bless. Tried to be helpful for the guy who did it.
Do you
Yes.
know any funny stories?
But the original poster never answered me, so I'm still waiting. It's funny.
Now then, what's your man called who does the guide to the EFB?
Richard.
Well, he's been quick off the blocks.
Yeah, we spoke yesterday quickly, him and me.
One of the standing order things is out as of yesterday. I mean, it doesn't say very much. It's about the EINN installed business. So there's not much to say, really. But yeah, he doesn't hang around, does he? I suppose it's worth saying that it's a tremendously good guide to the EFB, and there's a link in Nico's install guide that takes you there. It's well worth a read and well worth going through it every so often anyway, just to remind yourself.
Anyway, answer to your question is I've landed on the Navy.
Gotcha.
I see we've got company.
Where? How? Oh yeah, on the right there. Got it.
A320. Out of fact.
Oh, that guy has got the wrong description. A320 cannot fly that distance. It's impossible. He's got the wrong aircraft listed there.
It's a weird route as well.
Mm.
What? From Cape Town? It's flying from Cape Town? How is he flying from Cape Town in that position then?
Yes, he says from Cape Town to Shannon. It's impossible. That's Anthony. He's toying with us. That's why he never updated his data. He's in FS 2020, and he's coming to escort us. That's why.
Maybe he's fitted some extended tanks.
Won't you get an issue with IVAO? If you like get online and fly without logging, flight details.
Well, the fact of the matter is he did log flight details. The fact that it's wrong is something that we detected by visually looking. Unless a supervisor comes and visually checks him, he's not going to see that there's a problem.
Okay. Nico, are you going to be doing another IVAO flight tour in the evening, or just a normal flight?
Now we're continuing the next leg. So from Yanni, I think it's to Norway that we fly this evening. It's just another IVAO World Tour leg.
Lovely. Okay.
It's in my schedule. You can get the info there.
Nico, you know, since I stopped using I've stopped using what you call this Skymax Pro,
Yeah.
and I'm getting like 40 frames stable. Because I used to suffer quite a lot. Like, you know, if I'm flying through the clouds, my frames will drop down to maybe 10, 15, 9. But now it's because I'm using X Vision right now, and it's beautiful clouds and stable frames.
Yeah, but in Skymax Pro, the problem is the volumetric clouds. If you go off that beta and you go just use these clouds I've got here, I haven't got a single moment's problem with them. These are called the fast clouds. So you just substitute it inside of Skymax Pro. Problem solved. Goes away.
I've removed all the betas, and I've tried all the, like, you know, all these ones. Still, I was experiencing problems. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's weird. No idea, my friend. No idea. But as long as you're happy, that's the big story.
So you like that, do you, Nico?
Yeah.
Oh, what was it you were going to do with your Vulcan? You're flying your Vulcan today, Nico?
Mirage 5, actually. Converted to Cheetah. It's just undercover right now. Or are you talking Vulcan, the platform?
I'm talking about Vulcan graphic.
Graphic. Oh, no, I'm flying OpenGL. No. When we going to test the autosave, I'll fly Vulcan.
Yeah, no, I was just asking because you were planning to do something with your Vulcan installation. I just wondered whether you had.
No, I've flown Vulcan a few times offline now. It is super stable. I'm very happy with it right now, Mac. Even in this one, I haven't done it now, but I have chosen Vulcan once or twice in this model of X-Plane as well. It flies beautifully.
Yeah, no, you were going to reactivate all your orbits, weren't you?
Yes, I did, and I never got around to fly it. Correct, I remember that conversation now. Mac, I still need to go and do a test flight. I scheduled one from Gatwick to Newcastle. That never happened, so I feel guilty. I still want to go do that one.
No, it was only just keeping up to date with what we all try these different things and see what works and what doesn't.
I'm with you. There's not going to be enough time to do it now because I need to go take mother-in-law away. And
well, I'm not suggesting you do.
No, but I want to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
I would have loved to do it now in between the other two flights, do a bit of a test. But I'm not going to have the time.
Well, you're already testing. This is the beta version of
11.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's 11 alpha, yeah.
So you're already beta testing anyway. You're doing something.
Yeah.
Nico, when you prepare the plane for descent, can you give me a heads up, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, that coffee was nice.
I think remember the Formula One crash, where the Grand Prix car crashed into the barrier, Nico?
I've seen a few. Which one?
The one last season where it crashed into the barrier, caught fire, and just got out.
I seem to recall it, yes.
Well, I was just thinking in relation to people who complain about landings in aircraft. They've just released the report on the crash. He suffered 67 G.
Wow. Wow.
But because of the helmet and the harness they wear around the neck and the protections built into the bodywork, he got away with it.
That's some deceleration. Wow.
They originally thought he'd hit the barrier at 137 miles an hour, but he actually hit it at 119.
Oh, that's alright then. Blimey.
Well, you never know, Paul. That 16 miles an hour might have been the difference between life and death.
Absolutely. Well, the kinetic energy goes up with the square of the velocity, doesn't it? So you're absolutely right.
But it says a lot for the construction of those Grand Prix cars if you can have a 67 G crash and survive.
Actually, it crossed my mind the other day, you know, when, let's say you've got an emergency situation in an aircraft and you've got to return to your departing airport and you could be well over your maximum landing weight.
Yeah.
Is the landing gear and the actual frame that it's fastened to designed to buckle in a similar way to take some of that impact?
No. The limit.
Because I would have expected it to be designed to bend rather than just snap, is what I'm kind of saying.
Well, because of the difficulties of the forces, I don't think it's that is intentional. I'm proud to people who design the undercarriages, but when you think of what the undercarriage is connected to in relation to the plane, you've got substantial chunks of metal in the undercarriage bay, struts and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, it's only connected to paneling. You know, there's no solid, big, huge bar it's connected to as such.
Right.
So
they must have done some modelling, is what I'm thinking, and and if it does deform rather than snap, all the better, is what I'm
like. There's a max landing weight, but the max landing weight that is in the book for normal everyday flight, but the actual maximum landing weight is considerably more. But that just relates to it being a heavy landing, which means the amount of maintenance checks that have to be done to make certain that nothing's bent afterwards. grows potentially significantly.
Yes.
I mean, they were saying that a 777 can take off fully laden, and it can turn back and still land at the airfield and still be under the absolute maximum weight for landing.
Well, that's what happened recently, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it out of Denver?
Well, I don't know whether that one was actually at max takeoff weight when it took off, but potentially.
It was notable that they didn't dump any fuel and they came back in.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Many of the times, it's not so much the landing weight that's the restriction from an aircraft point of view. It's the length of the runway available given that weight and the amount of runway it needs to stop.
Yeah. Well, I suppose if you've got a massively long runway, you don't have to, you're not forced to come down at 3 degrees and have a certain vertical speed. You could come in much more gently, I suppose, if you've got no limit on runway length.
Your landing speed's going to be greater. So, and then obviously, if you're heavy and you've only got the same amount of braking effect, it's not going to be as effective. So, it's all about, it's a combination of things, isn't it? It's not just all about the weight of the aircraft.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go and grab a hot drink. I'll be back in a few.
And likewise, the ultimate decision not to dump fuel in the instance of that 777 is you don't throw fuel vapors overboard when you've got an engine on fire. Maybe it seems unlikely that it would mix in relation to the engine, but you don't take the chance, do you?
Especially if you've got the option not to do it. Yeah. I mean, where do they dump the fuel? Is it the wingtips?
Well, most of them, it's usually, yeah, I mean, it's just not right at the wingtips, no, because very few aircraft have fuel tanks that go right to the end, but the pipe is usually sort of probably at the outer edge of the wing tanks. It's usually just a little pipe that's just opens and bends overboard.
You like that one I sent you, Nico?
Oh yeah, nice. The Two Musketeers. I'm speaking to Yeri here in the background. Always nice chatting with him when we get to do it.
Is he listening to us in the stream or not?
I don't know. Yeri, if you're here, just wave at us.
I was just wondering whether he's saying, no, that's not right. Tell that Mac guy that such and such. Put us right, Yuri, put us right.
So, I thought I was being clever, because every time I get a message from Uncle John now, I need to go find a browser to go and check this Messenger. So, I started Messenger for Windows, for Facebook, you know. And now I've got this little window here on the one side that's open. And still, every freaking time anybody, Yeri, Uncle John and all the other guys sending me messages, sends me a message, it pops now in both. So now I'm sitting here wondering, now what's the benefit of having Messenger? Surely if you have Messenger in the app, it should suppress the Messenger in the browser, but it doesn't. Kind of stupid.
But you'd probably find that because it pops up in two places, that's two lots of adverts and they collect extra money that way.
Probably, see. Hallo Rein. Was die klas? Aye.
"36 minutes top of descent."
Right, I'm back.
Hello.
Well, I'm going to retire to my other computer. I think I found a keyboard. I'll catch you gents in a minute.
Morning, Nico. It's Mickey here. So I asked Paul earlier about a question on VOR approach. Now, another question I got, when do I actually initiate the approach button on my VOR approach? Can I do it before my final fix if I'm down to my final fix altitude, or do I have to wait till I'm actually on my final fix?
Mickey, it works like an ILS. So once you see the diamonds, you can activate it, the filled in proper diamonds, not the outline, which means that filled in diamonds means that it's active and you can then select approach button. So when you look at your localizer and your glide slope, you'll initially see little diamonds, but it's not filled in. Then they fill in, then you can click it.
Right, thanks for that, Nico. I've never really successfully done a VOR approach yet, and I've got to today.
Yeah, no problem. Easy when you know how, eh?
Yeah, it's like everything else. I'll do it a couple of times. It'll be second nature, won't it?
Yep.
Nico, can you do flaps 15 gear down before glide slope capture, or you have to wait for the glide slope capture first?
No, when we train people, we tell them to capture before the glide slope. Well, okay, let's backtrack. What do you mean glide slope capture? Because when you look at the diamond, and as it comes down from the top, it's going to be the outline, then it's going to be filled in, and it's going to come down the scale. Okay, you need to have gear down flaps 15 before the nose dips, before that little glide slope diamond reaches the middle. Because once it reaches the middle, it's going to dip the nose. And the moment it dips the nose, depending on whether you're doing ILS or RNAV or whatever, your MCP speed is going to open up, and then you are manually required to reduce your speed on the MCP. Okay, so the reason we teach the guys to be fully established and fully configured when they are established is to prevent the work overload. So what you do is you need to get gear down flaps 15 by your first little dot. You'll see there's a dot in the scale, and then the magenta dot is coming down. When it reaches the first dot, it's flaps 15 and gear down. When it reaches the one just above the middle, you need to really be fully configured there, because that will prevent the speed from bugging out on the MCP. So it reduces your workload. It means you are a little bit early in your configuration, but for somebody that's learning and you know can't cope with everything happening so fast, that's the way we train them. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense, yeah.
It's like learning to drive a car. I remember I've taught a few people to drive a car. If they sit in that car and they put the pedal to the metal at the bottom, usually things happen too fast and they're prone to knock the car against the wall or something, you know. But if you do it slowly, you can turn easier. You do everything easier just by going slower. And that's the whole idea. You know, once you're away with everything, you can start, you know, changing it a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or just to use your range rings like the 753? Is it 753?
Yeah, from the final approach fix. It will give you, if you go and correlate what I just said, it will give you almost exactly the same what I just said. It's going to give you the same.
Oh, lovely.
The funny thing about teaching people is people learn differently. There's a famous incident that happened with the Zibo a couple of months ago. I answered a question that somebody asked, and I typed the commands one next to each other. So when we read English, we start on the left hand side and we read towards the right. You know, everybody that reads English does it that way. That's how we write, that's how English works. Okay, so I can't remember exactly what it was, but let's say it is what we're talking about now, just as an example, where I say to you, the first thing that you have to do is gear down. If you put flaps out first and you're too fast, you're going to rip them off. So the idea is to get the gear down first, to slow down because it causes more drag, then drop your flaps to 15. Okay, that's the proper way of doing it. So the sequence would be gear down flaps 15, wait a while, then go to flaps in landing configuration. So I wrote everything one after another, left to right. Truth Bob, there was a guy who couldn't understand it. I said to him, okay, let's rewrite it. I said to him, first line, gear down. Second line below that, I said, okay, flaps 15. Gear the line below that. So in other words, instead of writing left to right, I wrote the top down in a list. And you know what? He came back, he said, oh, now he understands. And that was like an eye-opener for me of how to train people and how people train differently, because not everybody learns the same way. So if you go and you look at the range rings now and you look at where that magenta little ball is, it's going to be very close to what I just told you, you know, but you came at me with a different way. but it comes down to the same thing, almost the same thing. So
Right. Yeah. Okay.
and that's
Yeah,
if
it
you
does. It does make sense. Yeah, like what you say. Like the way you have explained it. Now it makes sense.
Sentinel.
Hey. I can
Yeah, I'm
cry if
here.
you will scold me.
Alright, are you still watching the stream? Can I talk you through the setup?
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so for the benefit of Christoph here as well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to capture my display so we can do the automatic Unicom as well. So I'm going to select top of descent, and then I'm actually going to look at the IVAO WebI now. Alright, so we are here and we're gonna come in and land over there. So if I judge this, we're coming from the southwest, so we're going to select southwest over there. Our transition altitude is 5,000, but it's asking transition level, so I am just thumb sucking. I'm going to add, just look at that now, south west, stupid. I'm going to select the transition level, then it says 5,000, so I'm just going to make it 6.5. It's 1,500 feet above. It gives me enough time to then press the button. Okay, so that's that. Our star, I'm going to quickly look for the star. It's that one. The approach will be an ILS, and we're coming in on 06. Alright, so this takes care of automatic Unicom. I'm not worried about the rest, so I'm going to move that out the way. Then we're going to look at thank you, Gary, and sleep well, my friend. Thanks for the thought. It's a good one, and I hope you sleep well. Alright, so then the next thing we're going to do, alright, is we're going to start reading from the top. So we need to set the localizer at 109.5 and the final approach course at 56. Let's do this one quickly. It's 56. 56, and if we go down, let's see if we can do this. Right, so the ILS is 1095, and we flick it over. As a matter of interest, you see 113.3, that is the Shannon VOR. So I did put that in earlier just as a point of reference. Right, but I'm going to keep the ILS on the MMR1. I'm going to keep it active because we want to use the ILS to land. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I get the same information here. ILS 1095 and the VOR is 11330. So I'm going to leave that. Me personally, this is not a rule, it's just me doing it for myself. I keep the VOR active there unless I want to do an auto land, then I obviously have to flick the ILS. And then what that gives me is this: I can literally now activate sorry, it's up, come on. I can now activate VOR2 over there. And once we are in range, you'll see the DME and you'll actually see the radial line and everything. Alright, so that's just the point of reference, just a visual aid. Alright. So then, looking further, there was obviously, you see there's the 5,000 feet for transition altitude that I used. You can obviously also read it off here. It says transition altitude is 5,000. We added 1.5 just to make sure we've got enough space to operate in. Then let's go back to the ILS. One thing to take note of is your missed approach altitude there. You have to set the MCP to 4,000 when we get to that point. We're not worried about it now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use 3,000 feet. Our intercept for the ILS happens at 3,000 feet. So on our MCP, we're going to set 3,000 because there's no ATC that's going to interfere right now. Alright, so there's 3,000. So at top of descent, the aircraft will initiate the descent down to 3,000 for us. Then what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the ILS, and our decision altitude is 246. So what we're going to do, okay, it's going to be a bit far. Okay, I'm going to I'll turn the knob, you guys can look at the display. Okay, now I can't even see it. Hang on, let's get rid of this thing. Let's do it this way. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to set 246. Hello Darren. All well, thank you. I hope you're doing well too. We're going to use 246. Oh, it jumped. I hate it when it does that. Alright, there we go. There is your decision altitude, and that corresponds to what we have over there, 246. Alright, you with me? Sentinel?
Yeah.
Right, the next thing I want to do is I want to just check this runway length. Alright, so it's a nice fair runway length. We can actually go and do the calculation in the EFB, but because I'm lazy, unless you want me to do, then I'll go do it. I mean, at 10,500 foot runway, we're not going to use more than 2 or 3 on the auto brake, so it's up to you. We're not fully loaded, so I'm gonna go for 2. Alright, we're gonna come in on 06, and then we have to run down the runway anyway, so there's no point in using up all the brakes and costing us money. You know, we might as well just roll through, and then we're gonna taxi back. Okay, so that is done. Let me just get this thing semi in line. Alright, the next thing we want to do is we want to go to WebFMC. Alright, we want to set up our descent. I'm going to go to forecast, and then we're going to scroll down until we get our winds. Right, so that's what we're going to use over there. So under the winds heading in the OFB, you get the descent winds. So we're going to go for 200, that's 20,000 feet, flight level 150 and 100. And then we're simply typing 348 at 7. And 350. At 8 and 355 at 2. Right, so that gives us all those values. Then in STKP on the left hand side, you can see the ISA deviation is -10, so we're going to go 10 / and then we have to look at the QNH 1033. I'm going to put that in there, and our, hang on, I want to see if this works for me too. I saw Sasso do this the other day. He didn't put FL in front, he just put a number. Unless I missed it. Obviously seems like I missed it. 065. Alright, so it's taking it now. Alright, then we execute it. This takes care of our descent forecast. What we can then now do is, if you look at where we are at, BIMGO is our next waypoint. At BIMGO we have 5.1 ton of fuel. Alright, and at KOGAD we had 5.3. I'm going to use KOGAD because we just passed that. We literally just passed that. The other one is still too far away. So let's take 5.3 that we have, and when we are going to land, we're going to have 3.5. So that means 1.8 ton of fuel need to be subtracted. So if we go to our INET reference page, we're going to have 64.1.
Where are you off to, Nico?
Me?
Yeah, I'm not looking at your routing.
No, well, I'm going to turn left just now. You're a little bit ahead of me. That's all. Anyway, okay, so we've got 64.1, and then I'm going to use flaps 30. Put that into place. And you can see there we've got our reference speed for flaps 30. We've got the baro set, and then we still need to put 1033 into the barometer for standby. So when we get to the transition, we just flick it over, or just before transition. So there we have it, 1033 baro and our references, and we are literally now set for the descent. Does that help? Sentinel?
I say much, but I will see when I land. I'm 200 miles behind you.
Alright, okay. Well, if you got questions, you need to ask.
I will crash land and I put questions after.
Okay, cool.
Come on, be optimistic.
I think so too. Well, Uncle John, we have increased our gap to over 3 minutes, so you're safe, very safe.
Yeah, I'm back on 7.79.
Okay.
Nico, can you just recap on the fuel subtraction before you get your final gross weight?
All right.
Like, yeah, because I seem to have been using the wrong figures then.
All right. Well, you take the actual closest waypoint, in this case BIMGO now. Okay, we've reached it. So 5.1 and there's 3.5. That's what we're going to land with. So the difference is fuel that's going to be burned. Okay, and all you do is you calculate the difference between them. You then subtract it from the actual gross weight on this page, and that will give you your figures, the correct figures. So it's an estimate for the landing.
Right. I was using, if you go back to your progress page, I was using 5.0 and 3.5.
Yeah.
The difference between the two. I was getting it wrong then.
Well, if you have, remember, I can't see what you have, but you obviously need a point of reference. My point of reference was BIMGO, and that was my fuel. So that's my first point of reference. That's the other point of reference. All right. So the difference between those two, if this is current, remember, I mean, it doesn't help that it's 160 miles from you. It needs to be close. You see, GIPER is 107 miles from you. I cannot use that value because where's the difference between those two? I don't know where we're at right now. You see, so you have to have a known reference. That's why I always wait till I'm basically on top of you know, the waypoint, and then from there to there, that difference is what I subtract. So whatever yours says is exactly what you need to do. I can't tell you you're right or wrong because I don't know your values.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
It's about your principle. It's about what you see in your side. Darren, yes, that's what I would do. If it says refer to minimum, that's exactly where I'm going to read it. I mean, I don't read it from anywhere else. Because that is the published minimums. Let me get it back up. So that is the published minimums, and that's what I'm going to use. Unless you do a circle to land, then you read it from that side, and unless the glide slope is out, you read it from that side. But in this chart, that's the minimums. Yes, that could be a difference, exactly. So instead of reading it from the top, read it from the bottom. Or you need to have the understanding of what the difference is, like you just said. One will be for Cat 3 and the other ones would, you know, be for everything else.
Did you insert your route data wins like what Sasa told you yesterday?
No.
Not today.
Not today. You know what? It's a nice to have. My mind wasn't there. When my mind is on it, I'll do it.
Okay.
While you've prompted me, I might as well look at it. And did you set it in your EFB, Darren? Did you set it correctly? Yep. Alright, I'm not going to do these ones because they're part of the descent. If we start messing with these ones, we're going to mess up our descent forecast. So that's the last one in the cruise. From there on, it will have to rely on the descent forecast because that's now the ones taking the lead.
All right. Okay.
So if you have plus 100 set to no, alright, it's supposed to give you approaching minimums. That's the setting over there. So when I come into land, Darren, listen out with me. Let's see if we can hear that then, because it needs to say approaching minimums here. The only issue that I might have is obviously this dear lady. The FO call outs is set to no, so you might not hear it because of this woman. So for me to really test it properly, we'll do it now, but for me to really properly test it, we need to go to my test rig and do it there without Linda. Yeah, I'll try that.
Save 2.
Just done mine too.
Thanks, Uncle John.
Pleasure.
Absolutely, thanks.
Can't wait for autosave. That's gonna be so cool.
I think 15 minutes is plenty.
Well, because it has no effect in performance on my system, I might as well run it at 5 minutes. We'll test it. We'll test all of them. You know, we'll see what happens.
Just under 80 top of descent.
Okay.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm at 89.
Back with you, gents.
And you sound a bit louder.
Computer again.
Hey, Papino. Sentinel, so you configured, you ready?
Yes, I did. I hope so. It's okay. Linda said, I hope we don't crash, so I'm pretty confident.
Ha!
Silly girl. Silly girl.
Well, if you have a stable approach, the landing is always a lot easier. So they say.
One of these days we're going to have to let Linda land it.
Don't trust every word she says, because she keeps on saying, last time it wasn't good enough.
Yes.
Hello, Kevin. Good morning. That's Kevin McCarthy. And hello, other Kevin. You crept in your leopard crawl and we didn't know.
Yeah, just sitting here quietly listening and watching.
Okay. As long as you don't take out your marker, pen, and clipboard, I'm okay.
It's not qualified enough.
Ah,
Excuse me, excuse me.
tell him, Kevin.
Taking pointers here. I'm writing points down and scoring y'all.
Morning, Kev.
Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm top of the bill, sir. Just about to come to my top of descent.
Yes, I can see that.
Morning, Kev.
Good morning, Mickey.
Good morning, Kev.
Good morning, Lloyd, and good morning to everybody else as well.
Hey up, Kevin.
Up me duck, you alright then?
Aye.
I'm 22 from top of descent.
Started.
Awesome.
Another long flight behind you, eh?
morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, Erwin.
Morning.
I was checking my system. I didn't hear anything, so I thought it was my system. Are you streaming, Nico?
Yes, yes.
Ah, you're doing a long leg.
Yep. Good morning, William. Nice to see you with us today as well. Alright, so anyway, my descent has started. $105 DME on VOR. Excellent, William. Well, we've been working hard on the mod, so you should be pleasantly surprised with all the new stuff. And it ain't done yet. Okay.
Let me do another save before descent. Nico, at what point do we turn on the anti-ice when going through the clouds? When the
temperature below 10 degrees, and mine is currently at -10 there. I can see that. So it all depends on how thick the layer is and things like that, if there is actually any icing in there. But if you want to be safe, about a minute before you go into the cloud should be sufficient time for the engines to heat up. But I don't think this cloud layer is very thick. It doesn't look very thick to me.
Okay.
You won't fall out the sky if you just go through a cloud layer. It's when you persistently, constantly in it. And when there's real ice conditions.
Okay.
I don't think you're going to need it today, Nico.
Yeah, no, this thing is heating up so quickly. We're already at -8. So, I mean, we're going to go through these clouds like a knife through butter.
I'm down to -1 at 12,000.
Alright. Do yourself a favor, Lloyd. Get my training checklist. Everything is spelled out in that thing. Everything is there. I'm busy updating it. But the stuff that I'm working on is not related to icing. The icing stuff is done. I still have to fix the go-around that has now changed with the new updates. So I'm working on that still.
Okay, thanks. I'll have a look.
Yeah, I'm already back to -4. It's the temperature's rising rapidly.
My temperature's dropping again, -5 at 10,000.
Then what are you doing at 10,000? Why don't you go below it?
Well, I am. I'm on my way down.
I'm filling your socks.
Oh, why don't you go down?
Yeah.
Kevin, what's he going to do with you? You're not even flying.
Yeah, but I've heard it's a good idea to go down when you want to land.
Yes. Guys.
That's novel.
Yeah, fun fact. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but there are more aircraft in the ocean than there are submarines in the air.
Good one.
Has that been fact checked by Facebook?
Or Twitter? I don't know. They're probably gonna come back and say it's false. It's time to get fact checkers for the fact checkers. And Virtual is just subscribed. Ooh, we don't have a picture there. Why not? Ugh, this bot. But thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Wow, I've just discovered something, Nico.
Tell me.
Well, you know windy.com?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you've got it on temperature, there's a thing on the scale on the right hand side. You can actually read the temperature at different altitudes now.
Okay.
And you don't have...
Very
and
much
you,
you dives at 7,000.
Yes, Uncle John,
So-
I couldn't hear a word you were saying. Give Mac a chance, let him finish, then you can try again.
you don't have to go very high currently to be in freezing conditions over Ireland.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Steep dive after 7,000.
Thank you, sir.
Thousand to level off.
So, Lloyd, just as a matter of interest, I didn't actually go through the clouds. The clouds are busy disappearing underneath me and in front of me. It's very, very scattered at this point in time. Fun.
All right. All right. Okay.
Approaching transition. Transition level.
I'm slowing down so you can land easy, Uncle John.
Thank you kindly, sir.
Yeah, because I
Flaps
see
one set.
I'm catching up with you again.
I'm on approach, but I'm not established yet.
No worries.
I'm down to 165.
Flaps 5 set.
What, your speed?
I'm actually, to be
Yes,
honest,
sir.
very
Oh
afraid to
my
fly.
goodness, that's why I'm catching up with you.
Well, I just thought I'd better let you know why.
Of course.
Back up to
Flaps
170.
15 set.
Don't change your modus operandi now because you know I'm behind you. I'll slow down, don't worry. I've got my gear out, flaps 15 already. Darren, yes and no. I have two copies of Explain. This one, where I do the broadcasting from, is OpenGL. And the second copy that I have is Vulkan. So I don't broadcast that one yet. I still need to make 100% sure it's safe. So far I haven't had a crash in it since the X-Plane 1152 update, so it seems much better than the previous one, for me at least. But like I said earlier, you know, we've got things we need to test in Vulkan, so I'll start using that a little bit more now again.
Established.
Okay.
1000 to level
Good
off.
luck, Uncle John.
Thank you, sir.
1,000 to go.
And just as a matter of interest, this is 11A that I'm testing at this moment, and it is fantastic. Zibo did a good job on this one. He fixed that one timer that wasn't working properly, and a whole bunch of other things already again. He's fast, eh? See now, Lloyd, if I look at these clouds, if these clouds continue too long, I will also consider switching on that anti-ice. I'm just not sure how thick this layer is, so you know what, just to be safe, I'm actually going to switch it on.
Alright, okay.
And engines first, wings only if you really have to, eh? Because these clouds, I don't know, they look like I'm in the thick of it.
What's your temperature right now?
+3.
+3, okay.
On approach +6.
Flaps 30 set.
It's a nice photo. And Nico is sleeping.
Localizer capture. Glide slope capture.
I almost missed my glide slope. Oops. Go around 4,000. And we've just broken free of these clouds. Awesome.
Nice landing, John.
We don't need to say anymore, eh, John? Good landing.
Get off that runway. Move it.
Why? Why? He's just landing.
I'm just behind him. Come on. Move it. Move it.
Get to the shop and get the pie and coffee in.
Damn it. You're a man, not a woman. You don't have to look around. Just get it off that runway.
Yeah, put it there, John. Put it there.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That-
there, right. Right in front of him. In the middle. Yeah, there.
The only problem is I've come off the wrong side.
Oops. I said sorry.
You'll just have to park in the Lufthansa hangar.
Yeah.
No, but I'll turn around and wait for him to pull off.
He's miles away yet, John.
Yeah.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Taxi lights on.
With all those water and islands around, it's quite a nice approach, that Nico.
Very, very excellent. Loving it.
Approaching 06.
How far is he from finals?
300 meters.
2 minimums.
Yeah, you can't cross anymore, John.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse unlocked. Auto brake in use.
You tell Linus to lie down, you can see him coming, John.
Yeah, I'm watching him there, thank you.
60 knots. Yeah.
4,000
landing.
feet remaining.
You are professional.
Thank you, Linda. Hello, Uncle John.
Hello, buddy. Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah. Did you get some good maintenance there by the Lufthansa guys?
Go on, rub it in.
Oh, I'm just asking. I hope they took care of you. I'm concerned.
They said, I don't know why you bothered to come across. Your aircraft is perfect.
Ah. Good
Nico,
owner.
Nico, he did it on purpose so that you'll be first at the canteen to get the pies and coffees.
Emily, don't tell him.
I knew there was a reason. After landing procedure.
You've got to be wise to his tricks.
After landing procedure. After landing procedure completed. Flaps upset.
Got 10 minutes from top of descent.
Okay, Paul, how far are you?
I'm due in at 10:38, so quite a while yet.
Okay.
A lot of static aircraft here.
I must have cleaned the scenery a little bit. I've only got like 2 in front of me and 1 slightly behind me now. Three hours and 12 minutes. Yo. Hello, Krister. Right, I'm taking gate 3-2, guys. Krister, I didn't experience much wind, to be honest. Not today, huh? The wind is 120 at 8 knots. It grabbed my nose a bit after landing. So if you watch my landing, you could see I pulled a bit to the right there, but I had to compensate and it was okay. Well, I suppose we should stop. Brake set. Right, our times. Zibo fixed the off time in this version, so that is now working. If you have a crash out and you have to do a flight reload, that one's working now. So all the calculations should be fine. We'll check it in a short while. Let's do this shutdown procedure.
Shutdown procedure.
Ah, that's the point though, Nico.
What?
The times are alright, but you haven't done a save and reload.
Yeah, I haven't done. We'll check one shortly. We can check. I just need my 6 minutes to run quickly and then we can test it quick.
Well, if you do a save now before you shut down completely with the engines,
it's too late
you
now.
should be.
Too late, engines are off.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. No, I've got some saves. I've got
Shutdown
1 and 2 that I've
completed.
used, so I can play around with them.
Okay.
Alright, so let's make sure we've got all the light switches on the hardware in the right place. And there we go, door open, and it has registered the INN.
Can I raise one comment
No.
about that save load business?
Yeah.
Well, now you've got 8 positions to fill. There's no indication when you've got a saved position. If you've already got something saved, you've got to rely on your memory currently to know what's saved where, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether you could reduce, if there's a save situation in a particular slot, I'm wondering if the icon color could change in the EFB.
Make it amber.
Yeah, something like that.
So that has been, to say it's been used.
Yeah. Then you don't overwrite anything unintentionally.
Yeah. What I also have been wanting to ask him for a while now is to change the colors around. The red and green is like it's in the wrong position for me and my brain, because to save is green. The problem isn't saving the flight, the problem is recalling the flight, and I've made the mistake once or twice by pressing the green, because my brain works that way, to actually think I'm saving a flight, but then I loaded the flight. So I don't know, I'll ask him. We can debate that a little bit more. Hello, Uncle John.
Hello, sir.
I thought that was you.
I thought I saw that buddy cat.
Are creeping up on me.
Who wanted to say something?
Me.
Sentinel.
Is there a way to start the descent more quickly? Because
Yes.
on my FMC it says I need to drop 2,000 to 27,000 feet in 20 miles.
Well, what you can do is you go to your VNAV button, or you go to your descent button, whichever FMC you use. If you're on the descent page, the bottom right hand line select key will have descent now, and you can press that if you want to descend quicker, and then it will go into 1,000 foot per minute descent for you until it catches up with the VNAV path.
Okay, thank you. And after that I need to set the VNAV back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, what do you mean set VNAV back? It needs to be on VNAV. You don't touch anything. You just need to make sure that your target altitude on the MCP is whatever the correct thing would be. See, so your MCP should be at, I think, 1,500 or something. Oh, no, 3,000 for this one. This one was 3,000. And then the VNAV will work on its own. Then you can just, preempt the descent by just pressing descent now.
Okay, I will try it.
Yeah. All right, Darren, let me get back to your answer. I have two places where I schedule my flights. When I stream, it's here on my YouTube channel. So you come to my channel and then you'll see the streams I've booked, because I have to book them ahead of time to get the better results. Okay. So that's one place you can check. The other one is on the Discord server in my flight roster. I usually list them in my flight roster, and the flight roster is probably the most crucial one of them all, because that tells you exactly. It gives you the date and the time that I fly. The only problem is when I need to do a stream for Zibo. That's kind of impromptu, that I can't really schedule ahead of time, and lately we've been doing streams and stuff privately, here on Discord. So it all depends on those kind of things. But if it's any scheduled flight or a group flight or anything, look in my flight roster in Discord, our Discord. Yeah, Skymatix Zibo Discord. You see, that's Owen. That's exactly the different way of how my brain works. My brain says green is go. You know, so I want to save the flight, so I want to click the green one. It's safe to click the green, but you know, it's how different brains work. Mine just doesn't work this way.
Well, my thought would be where it's currently red, it maybe wants to be light grey, and then when you've got a save situation, it shows red.
Okay, yeah, that also can work. Yes.
Then, in other words, red is danger. You'll overwrite it.
Yeah,
like.
That's kind of a good idea. My brain can cope with that. If Zibo implements this autosave that we're talking about now, you know, most people in my mind is going to use the autosave function rather than this one. You know, for training purposes, this is still going to be the better option, but you know, then you can set up scenarios. But for the average simmer, the autosave will be the answer.
Yeah. But that's for when the sim crashes and you want to continue your flight.
Exactly. Right, well, we've gone over the 6 minutes there, so I can stop all of this and disconnect. Alright, so let's quickly take a screenshot of this page and yeah, people differ. It hurts our brain sometimes to accommodate other people, but anyway, right, so let's go load flight number 2. It might take a minute or two to do that.
Engine start procedure completed. TARA mode set. Stabilized.
Sent you a couple of pics, Gov.
Approaching transition.
Oh, this
Transition
number 2
altitude.
didn't load well.
Positive rate.
Well, just remember you said you were engines off.
Oh crap, that's why. That's why, obviously. Sorry, Mac, you're right.
I'm glad somebody's awake.
Ah, man, I'm listening here to my wife. She's asked Reina to bring me my breakfast. Dankie, Reintjie. Dankie, sir. Hold on. Let's do this. Start with engines running, and then we do it. Obviously, that is the reason it's not working. Blah, 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 blah. I'm only human.
60 knots.
I'm not going to say anything.
Ja, ek gee my vrou die skuld. Sy het my aandag afgetrek. Ek is honger, man. Alright, there you go. Now it's working. See? When you're dumb, you're dumb.
Transition.
You have to just fix yourself.
Positive rate.
Okay.
Paul, how far are you from touchdown?
7 miles.
Alright, so Mac, the first thing that I've noticed is that we didn't have rapid decompressurization, so Zibo fixed that bug as well. Alright, so we are at 37,000 feet and the pressurization system works. No, it doesn't. I spoke too soon. Okay, then he still hasn't fixed that. Ooh, look where that needle is. No wonder it's not working. Alright, I'll remind him to fix that. Okay, so for the rest of it, everything is working. So the only way to get rid of that error is going to be to descend. We're not going to descend right now. What we want to do is check this one, which is setting fixed. So
How
log.
far away from top of descent are you?
Oh, very close there. It's in front of me.
Okay.
Alright, so there you go. It's definitely fixed. This problem has gone away.
We've got 4 coming in.
Okay, so this rapid depressurization is still a bit of an issue.
What? Well, do a descend now, Nico. Go early.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. I see if I close this valve, it also brings down that big one. Slowly, slowly. Because effectively, we should be able to do this too. That initiates like a 500 foot a minute descent. I'm just not sure if that's going to be enough. But these days now will be an option. Okay, let's not waste time. So we're going to go to VNav. We're going to go to the next page and descend now and execute.
Safe landing, Paul.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
It's in the download page on the Skymatix VA, I believe, isn't it, Nico?
What?
Livery.
Livery,
The
yeah,
livery.
yeah. It's in the download page, exactly as you said, in the VA.
That was a beautiful lap.
You know, I got great manicure this time.
Right, I just had to give Zibo the update there. Okay, I see Sasso's put in some reports already as well. Alright, well, there's no point in doing this. I mean, we've already done all of that. Let's...
Might be quicker to turn right there, Paul.
log all my flights.
Thanks, John.
Pleasure. Nice landing, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
My VA client was still on. And it's complaining. I should have logged this flight with the VA before reloading. Alright, let's see, in flight.
I remember to set up the VA flight this time.
Yeah, okay, and my flight has been filed. Does not like that.
You're 7 minutes out, sir.
See, now I have properly messed up this log, I'm telling you. Yep, I did. Properly messed it up. That's not a Zibo mistake, that's a Nico mistake. Anyway, alright, that is it. Welcome to Shannon, everybody, and thank you for watching. We'll be back later. I need to go do a bit of driving all over the show here in Johannesburg, and I'll be back later. And we'll fly from Shannon to wherever. The next one is the flight is already booked on YouTube, so you can just ring the bell to remind you. And we'll see you guys later. James, sorry, before I go. So I'm the phone rang. My friend needed a bit of help, so I put the plane on heading and altitude all over Finland. Awesome. And you got your yoke. Excellent. I can't wait to hear the story of that yoke once you've tried it and got used to it now. It's a game changer, this honeycomb yoke. James, thanks for all the news you keep on giving me. It's amazing. The interaction with some of you guys, I really like that. And Christer, you're always welcome. I love to share, you know that. Gents, ladies, enjoy. We'll talk later. Thank you, and have a blessed rest of your Saturday.
Drive safely, Nico.
Thanks. See you, Nico.
Bye.
Thank you, Mac. I'll try my best to drive safe. Yes, it's a bit of a way to go.